You just bought your first car. Maybe it's an old Miata, maybe it's a newer BMW. Either way, it feels perfect. The freedom, the late night drives, picking up your friends and blasting music like you're in a movie. But after a while, it starts to feel a little plain. Then, you stumble online and see someone with the exact same car as yours, except theirs looks a bit different. Maybe it's the wheels, maybe it's the shiny exhaust, maybe it just sounds like it has way more power. And that's when it happens. The thought creeps in, I should mod mine too. But here's the thing, that's only the beginning, because once you step into the world of car modifications, you quickly realize there's a lot more lurking beneath the surface. Welcome to the car mod Iceberg. Let's dive in. Layer 1, Entry Mods. Alright, at the very top of the iceberg we got the easy, cheap and usually questionable mods. This is where most people start, little things that make your car feel more personal without breaking the bank. Stickers and decals. They're cheap, they're everywhere, and everyone has tried them at least once. A brand logo on the windshield, a funny bumper sticker, maybe even a fake racing stripe. It doesn't make your car faster, but it does tell people what kind of owner you are. LED strips in the interior. Plug it into the cigarette lighter, stick some strips under the dash, and suddenly your car has nightclub vibes. Does it look cool? Depends on who you ask. Do they distract you when they're set to strobe mode? Absolutely. Window tint. This one's half functional, half style. Keeps your car cool in the summer, gives you some privacy, and let's be honest, it instantly makes almost any car look better. The only downside? If you go too dark, you might get pulled over before you finish admiring it. Muffler tips and muffler deletes. Muffler tips are the cheapest way to pretend your car has an exhaust system, and muffler deletes are the cheapest way to make it unbearably loud. Neither of them add power, but they do change how your car feels. A muffler delete makes every tunnel a concert hall and every cold start a wake-up call for your neighbors. Shift knobs, steering wheel covers and other Amazon specials. These are the impulsive buys. A weighted shift knob that you swear makes shifting smoother. A steering wheel cover because the original one is worn out. Maybe even pedal covers that look sporty. They don't make your car any quicker, but they make you feel connected to it. And at the end of the day, that's what counts. This is the entry level, the tip of the iceberg. Nothing crazy yet, but just enough to get you hooked and make you start thinking, what's next? Layer 2, mid mods. Now we're moving a little deeper. This is where your car starts to actually look and sound modified and you start realizing that mods aren't just about style anymore. Wheels and tires. This is usually the first real upgrade. Stock wheels are fine, but once you see your car sitting on a fresh set of alloys, it feels like a whole new car. Wider tires, better grip, better stance, and yes, a little more attention at the stoplights. Suspension. Lowering springs, coilovers, or even air suspension if you want to get fancy. Suddenly, your car corners better, looks more aggressive, and makes scraping every speed bump an extreme sport. It's where style meets performance, but it's mostly style. Exhaust system. Catback exhausts, resonator deletes, maybe a full aftermarket setup. This is where the car starts to sound like it matches how it looks. Every cold start turns heads, and tunnels are basically your personal stage. The best part? People always think you're faster than you actually are. Cold air intakes. They're cheap, simple, and controversial. Some people say they add horsepower, others say it's just noise. Either way, the extra whoosh under the boost makes every drive feel a little more exciting, even if the speedometer doesn't move any faster. Tuning and stage 1 ECU flash. Here's where things start to get real. A simple tune can unlock a surprising amount of power from a turbocharged car. It's one of the first mods that actually does something beyond looks and sound. Your car goes from meh to oh wow. And suddenly you're thinking about the next step. The car starts to wake up. Cosmetic touches. Clips, diffusers, spoilers. Small changes that add aggression and style. Your car is not stuck anymore and people notice. These mods don't make it any faster, but they make it yours in a way that stands out in the parking lot. This is the everyday modder layer. You start to look like a proper enthusiast without having completely broken the bank or torn the engine apart. Yet. Layer 3. Serious mods. Now we're diving deeper. This is where modifying a car stops being a hobby and starts feeling like a lifestyle. Big turbo or supercharged kits. At this point, your car isn't just louder and lower, it's packing serious power. Installing forced induction is a huge step and suddenly your little project car can actually move. It's exciting, but it comes with a lot more responsibility and a lot more potential for things to go wrong. Fuel system upgrades. Bigger injectors, high flow pumps, upgraded rails. If you've added boost, your car needs more fuel, otherwise the new turbo isn't going to last long. It's boring to talk about, but without it your engine might explode faster than you can say stage 2. Forged internals. Pistons, rods and crankshafts built to handle serious power. Stock components can survive high boosts, so this is where people start building engines that actually last. It's expensive, time-consuming and a little terrifying, but is what separates the weekend warrior from a real enthusiast. Transmission mods. Stronger clutches, short shifters, upgraded torque converters for automatics. You've got all the power, but now your drivetrain needs to keep up. Otherwise, you'll find yourself replacing a clutch more often than your oil. Standalone ECUs and advanced tuning. This is no longer a simple flash. We're talking full custom tuning to optimize every part of the engine. It's precise, technical, and sometimes scary. One wrong setting can ruin a motor, but done right, it unlocks insane potential. Safety and interior upgrades. Roll cages, racing seats, harnesses. Once your car has power and handling, safety becomes a priority. And suddenly, your car starts to look less like a daily driver and more like a track machine. Track-ready suspension. Adjustable coilovers, sway bars, reinforced mounts. Everything you install here is designed for precision, not just looks. You're no longer just lowering a car for style. It's about performance, cornering and control at high speeds. This is the dedicated build layer. It's where mod starts to cost serious money, take serious effort, and start actually transforming your car from a fun daily driver into a proper performance machine. Layer 4, the deep end, extreme mods. Now we're really getting into the deep end, the layer where most mods stop being just a hobby and start becoming full-blown engineering projects. Engine swaps. This is when people start tearing the heart of their car and replacing it with something completely different. LS swaps, 2JZ swaps, even electric conversions. If it fits, somebody probably tried it. It's expensive, complicated, and often takes months, but when it's done, your car is unrecognizable from its stock version. Wide body kits. Rocket Bunny, Liberty Walk or custom fabrication. This is where your car starts to look aggressive, purpose-built and almost cartoonishly muscular. It's not subtle, it's not cheap, but it makes a statement. Custom fabrication. Hand-built exhausts, titanium components, custom manifolds, the stuff most people don't even realize exists until they see it. It's time-consuming, expensive, and technically impressive. It's what separates the weekend warriors from the automotive artistry. Drivetrain swaps. Converting a front-wheel drive to all-wheel drive, adding a 6-speed manual where none existed, or upgrading a transmission to handle insane torque. It's not just power, it's rethinking how your car moves. Most people don't attempt this, but it's a huge step in serious builds. Drag and track specific builds. Cars with more than 1000 horsepower, roll cages, and parachutes. Street legal? Sometimes. Street friendly? Very rarely. But the speed, the performance, and the sheer audacity of these builds is what makes true enthusiasts stop and stare. Show cars. SEMA-style builds with perfect paint, gold-plated engine bays, and crazy interiors. They're more about spectacle than speed, but they represent the pinnacle of money, effort, and attention to detail in car culture. This is the deep end. By now, you're no longer a weekend tinkerer. You're dealing with projects that take months, cost tens of thousands, and require a level of skill most people don't even attempt. And yet the people here won't have it any other way. Layer 5. The Abyss. This is the layer most of us only see online. The stuff that makes you go, wait, people actually do this? Twin engine builds. Some people literally cram 2 engines into one car, one in the front and one in the back. Yeah, it's insane, but it works, somehow. The result is absurd amounts of power, a total engineering nightmare, and a car that's basically impossible to daily drive. Jet engine and turbine engines. This is when people say, why stop at 4 wheels and a regular engine when you can just strap a jet engine to your chassis? These cars are absurdly loud, terrifyingly fast, and completely impractical, but they do exist, and that's what makes them legendary. Tube frame and one-off builds. This is where the original car is basically just a shell. Everything else is custom. Chassis, suspension, engine placement, you name it. It's the ultimate DIY project, and only the most dedicated or even reckless people attempt it. Land speed record builds. These are the cars purposely built only for speed. Nothing is left stock, nothing is left to chance. The Abyss is where mods stop being practical and start becoming pure engineering madness. It's expensive, extreme, and often completely illegal, but for some enthusiasts, this is the dream. Few will ever get there, but everyone who does leaves a mark on car culture that's impossible to ignore. That's the car modification iceberg. From cheap entry mods to everyday upgrades to serious builds and all the way down to the extreme and insane machines in the Abyss. The thing is, everybody starts at the top, but the deeper you go, the crazier it gets. So where are you on the iceberg?